welcome back to my channel, Mama P, Life Over 50. So today I am here to ask a question. And I've asked the question before, but now I'm asking another question. Question 2. So, do you guys think that every woman should be a mother? Does every woman deserves to be a mother? Is every woman equipped to be a mother? That's the question. Because, it's a lot to being a mother. You have to be a nurturer. Someone that can give your kids everything that they need, not want. There's a difference, of course. But everything that they need in life. So does every woman deserve to be a mother? And so that's the question I'm asking. And sometimes I think yes, and sometimes I think no. And let me tell you why. Why do I say yes? Because there are there are a lot of women that want to be mothers that can't be a mother. They've tried. They've spent money on in vitro treatments, if they can afford them, first of all. They've tried going to a sperm bank. They've tried with the one that they love. And they were never blessed with being a mother naturally. So you would say, well, shoot, they don't have to do it like that. They can always adopt. That's true. You can. You can always adopt. And unfortunately, when you want to adopt a child, you want that child to be little. You want it to be a baby to where you can mold it the way you want to mold it. But unfortunately, there are not a lot of babies, that are being adopted. There are plenty of kids that need to be adopted, though. But then you have to have the right fortitude to be able to turn that child around. And when I say turn the child around, I mean to remold the child to what you would want the child to be and act. And there again poses the question, should every woman be a mother? And so my answer to that is, it doesn't matter to me. It's not my call anyway to say whether they should be a mother or not. But then you got plenty of women out here that can have a child seem like if they just get touched or kissed, and they don't really want to be a mom. They really don't. And they may say, I do. Yes, I do, but their actions show completely different. And I'm not trying to say that I am an expert in raising children, because I am far from that. Far from it. To where I'm like, I'm blessed enough that my kids have made it to adulthood. I'm blessed enough that they don't give people problems. So in that I say it. Sure, there are a lot of women that deserve to be mothers. And in my own case, and I can only speak for myself, had I not became a mother, my thinking and well-being probably would not be anything like it is now. I want to say becoming a mother saved me, and it made me have to reevaluate my life It made me mature faster, and the thing with just being able to do what I wanted to do and only have to worry about just me and myself was over the moment I had my first child, the moment I had my second, third, and fourth. So it's not all about you anymore, and that's what us mothers do and realize. We do realize as we go that it can't just be about you any longer. You know, you can keep yourself up. Yes, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that. But then you got some of these mothers that only have the child to get just the financial benefit of it. And then they put the child off on their parent, or which is of course the child's grandparent or great grandparents. And that's not right. But then the grandparent or the young lady's mom, goes ahead and does it because they know if they don't do it, then who will? The most thing, the scariest thing in the world is for your child to end up in the system. Yes, there are some that come out of the system bright. And what I mean by bright, model citizens, become lawyers, doctors, and so forth. But then there are others that don't come out of the system right. They come out of the system messed up. Which means society has to deal with the mess up. So, and then it still circles, not still, but it circles right around back to what's going on now with the SNAP benefits. Some women only have those children just to get, like I said, the financial benefits, to where they can use those benefits how they like. And I'm not saying it's a black thing or a white thing or what, but there are mothers out there that do it. And I'm not saying that I'm better than them or anyone else is better than them. It's just that with the choices that they make, they don't think about the bigger picture. And it's always a bigger picture to everything that's going on. Always. So if you notice that the world is more or less, you get, like on social media, you get more views and more comments and things if you are, causing, not you yourself is causing havoc, but you're recording havoc going on. Fights, arguments, chases, anybody that's putting something positive out just gets little trinkles of this and trinkles of that. I think that the world would be better off if we were doing more positivity things coming out. Or positive things. The world right now needs more positivity. We really do. So, that's just the question I had on my mind. Are all women meant to be mothers? In your opinion, that is. And if not, then we're all just in trouble with these young people. But anyway, with all of that being said, thank you so much for subscribing, following, sharing, commenting, liking the video. And thank you so much for your support. And until next time, thank you and have a great one. Bye-bye.